Hello, film buffs. Sometimes it seems like science fiction has said it all, but every year a new film comes out that makes us immerse ourselves in the world of the future. Nightmarish thrills and stories about people on the brink of 24 and 25 have given us a whole wave of such films, from long-awaited returns of cult franchises like Alien and Planet of the Apes, to unexpected projects with new faces and a fresh take on the genre. We have it all, from George Miller's crazy post-apocalypse to such poignant dramas based on Stephen King. Enjoy watching. Let's begin with The Truth About Lilo and Stitch, a touching hybrid of live action and CGI from Disney. Retelling the classic animated story through the lens of modern technology, the atmospheric Hawaiian setting, vivid emotions, and a renewed emphasis on family make the film not just a remake, but a standalone work of art. At the center of the plot remains Hannah's idea. No one is forgotten, no one is abandoned. The story begins far beyond Earth. In an intergalactic prison, the trial of Experiment 6.2.6, a tiny but incredibly dangerous creature created by the genius of the mad scientist Jumba, is underway. This monster is bent on destroying everything it touches and has neither pity nor fear. But during transport, the creature escapes and steals a ship, flying away from its creators. A race through space leads him to a distant planet, considered insignificant by aliens. 6.2.6 crashes to Earth in a quiet corner of the Hawaiian Islands. At the other end of the story, we meet Lila, a little girl who lost her parents and was forced to live with her older sister, Nani. Lila is smart, stubborn, and full of imagination, but her quirks and loneliness make her an outcast among her peers. The family is falling apart. She doesn't try to prove to social services that she can handle the care, but the situation spirals out of control when Lila brings in a dog from a shelter, which turns out to be an escaped experiment from 6.2.6, and their destinies unexpectedly intertwine. A new chapter in the Gerard Jones franchise, Black Media, with a dose of action, features the return of Allison Williams and Violet McGraw, and centers on a battle with a new AI threat. The plot unfolds. 2 years have passed since the events of the first film, after Megan went rogue. Jima, her creator, is now an activist for the control of artificial intelligence. But when a secret contractor steals Megan's technology and creates his own deadly android, panic ensues. Amelia gains self-awareness and breaks out of control, threatening to destroy everything. Jima, with no other choice, decides to restore Megan. But now with an upgrade, she's faster, stronger, and more deadly. And now the two AI entities finally clash in battle. The future of humanity. Furiosa, the Mad Max Chronicles. George Miller returns once again to a world of grit, gasoline, and madness. This time, Furiosa's backstory is told by the heroine audiences met on Fury Road. Incidentally, she's also played by Anya Taylor-Joy, joined by Chris Hemsworth and Tom Bjerg. The film is more than just a gripping thriller. It's a full-fledged epic, where the young woman's personal story becomes a reflection of the entire 10th world of Mad Max. But it all begins with little Furiosa, living in the verdant lands of an oasis hidden from the maddening wasteland. Then one day, she's kidnapped by a gang of marauders led by the demonic warlord Dementus. The girl is taken from her home and thrown into a world begging for bullets and blood. In captivity, she witnesses the endless war between Dementus and Immortan Joe, and realizes that survival can only be achieved by learning to fight for every breath. Years pass, and Furiosa transforms from captive to warrior, ready to use enemies against each other. But within her, the hope of one day returning to the Greenland still lingers. The deeper she plunges into the maddened wasteland, the more determined she becomes to escape this hell and exact revenge on those who stole her childhood. The Planet of the Apes franchise, which began with Rise of the Planet of the Apes in 2011, continues to evolve. Usain Bolt, who previously directed The Maze Runner, is now directing. The action shifts forward many years after Caesar's story, revealing a different world. Apes have become the dominant species, while humans have retreated into savagery. This new generation of heroes and villains makes the film more reminiscent of myth than pure fantasy. Several generations have passed since Caesar's death, and the apes have built their own canals and even cities, while humans have lost their technology and memories of their former civilization, turning into tribes hiding from powerful neighbors. The protagonist, a young chimpanzee named Noah, is raised in a peaceful tribe that is suddenly destroyed by warriors from the army of the ruler Proxima. This tyrant has proclaimed himself Caesar's heir and uses his name to justify his own thirst for power. Noah miraculously survives and embarks on a perilous journey to find allies and restore freedom to his people. Along the way, he meets a girl named May, who holds the key to humanity's past. Together, they must navigate the ruined cities and jungles of a new world, where every step is a choice between trust and betrayal. The Alien franchise is experiencing a rebirth. This time, Fede Alvarez, the director of Evil Dead and Don't Breathe, is in charge of production. This film became an intermediate link between the first and second parts of the cult series by Ridley Scott, who acted as producer here. Starring Kaylee Spaney, David Johnson, and others, the story itself takes us back to the roots of confined spaces, dark corridors, and the horror of the unknown. The plot takes place in the year 2110. Several decades after the events of Alien, a group of young canal workers from a remote station decides to sneak into an abandoned orbital laboratory of the Eutonic Corporation in order to find resources and equipment. They think that this is an ordinary foray for scrap metal, but very soon they realize that the station is storing something terrible. Traces of experiments, containers with embryos and records hinting at unsuccessful experiments with xenomorphs, are left in the laboratories. One by one, the heroes begin to encounter terrible creatures, and the usual adventure turns a fight for survival. The main character, Rain, finds herself in the middle of a nightmare and tries to lead the team out. But with each passing minute, it becomes clear that not everyone can escape alive, and the station itself turns into an arena where a new twist on the alien legend is born. I'm sure you could add some other science fiction films here that I missed. Be sure to do so in the comments.